Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. So I did do a little bit of work, just because I was really bugged. Was it Aaron? Fina, we had the really, like, crazy tree. And it turns out that we actually were recording Killers of Zero. So we actually, I would like to get the actual information in there. But what I did is I went and played around and figured out how to do the patch in straight up SQL, pretty much. One of it's a possibly PostScript specific literal. So we had a bunch of people that were killer that were not getting properly attributed because I forgot to run killer ID all the way through my life log. So it was trying to pick up a big long uniquest string I was using for a key and convert that to a integer, which always turned out to be 0. So that's been patched. We can now get sensible trees out of these things. So getting this to fetch all of the killers will be a minor thing. I'm more interested in streaming out or streamlining this interface right now. Let's process multiple servers. Oh, this was... I probably have multiple notes documents here. Yeah. Can't go back in same list. Right, so I need a way to, like... I guess clear search would be something different. Scrolling in name list. Oh, that we fixed. Looser search. I think that was... I think that was actually the killer issue, but maybe something will show up later. Yeah, so I've got the list. I just need a way to have some kind of like back button or something. Not actually an issue for this one, but if we do, like we were looking at this one the other day, and there's a bunch of them. So this has the scrolling problem and the issue if you want to look at several. So view needs to have something, but only in one page. So search box, well, what we do is we have search box, which is just HTML. And in the result mode, we stick this in a row. We can have our back button. All right, now some of Firefox has been in light mode today, but not this page. Well, I guess I've got less up right now. I guess I can get rid of my data files now. What was I looking at? It was Elm UI. Really? That would be a kind of input. And you. Oh, that's right. I wasn't able to use you. And I think I ended up having to do this as a thing because of text conflict. Maybe I should do that particular one. So attributes, we are required to provide a onPress maybe message? How can you have a click message if it's not just? That seems like a typo. Did we just call it back? And the tree viewer. UI back might just be okay. There's something else you didn't like. Label L. Oh, it isn't. It is a text. I did import. It's like, do I want to do text or do I want to do inputs? Element. Element would actually be a very appropriate thing for Elm. Oh, I might have indeed scoped that. Yes. So we've got that. Okay, so it's not a very well styled button. And this needs, and I need to do stuff with proper spacing. Had you not compiled yet? No. That's not it. I mean, maybe we do want some of that, but not right now. Oop, that definitely did not reload. Spacing 100. Oh, maybe I need to stick search box in an L for this to work. Although, I mean, HTML is sort of wrapping it into the library. Okay. So it only applies to certain elements. All right, and we can go back. We can graph somebody else. Wow, lots of I probably do need to get different search endpoints because this one probably wants to do either a lineage depth or a lineage size or something. Because that's really a big determiner of which ones are interesting. Well, at least for the eaves. All right, so that's one. Uh, all right, so the other one is we have no scrolling here, so I'm gonna have to do some playing around with my CSS and stuff. All right, so index. We actually have an external style sheet here. So body is a width, position absolute, overflow hidden. I might not be able to keep doing that. I might have to have, well, shoot. Well, that's sort of okay with body if the list was in a container that could scroll. And that container was properly sized. Or we had a secondary container for the graph part. Which we sort of do. Okay. Really? So we just have to call out to the HTML escapes. HTML attribute. HTML.class. Now you've already got your width and height fill. Do I even have... Okay, fine. Style. Oh, I guess you should really be an ID, shouldn't you? These might not be needed because we're doing other stuff the other way. In fact, you might be less needed because we've got all the attributes there. So this is where we're mainly concerned with this view. That's holding up surprisingly well, really. Actually, I probably need to link the direct to graph features whenever I'm doing graph stuff. So I don't even need to identify that. Okay. Let's see, is that part of our... Is this part of our to-do list? Well... Oh, how does it interact with the long list, though? Okay, so that's scrollable. Oh, we do get a little bit of scroll bar. Hmm. That's minorly annoying. I'm not really sure what to do about that, because that's kind of... the layout library. Oh, I guess maybe this thing could be doing stuff a little bit weird. So we've got our SVG. Layout. Okay, so that's you. You are... just a big old container. Which you are 373. You are 373. I guess I'm not sure... That should total 373. Zero, zero, zero. Yeah, I'm not seeing where it's at. And I'm using a bunch of things that say fill, but we're like one tiny little bit off. Well, maybe that's not fixable. So that sort of fixes... I mean, it does fix, although... I guess moving the scroll to here instead of the top bit would be nice. Does Element have clipping and scroll bars? Clip the content if it overflows. So maybe this should be clip. Aha, so my graph was... Or maybe it's the overlay that was doing something to it. Maybe it needed to be like 99%, 99%. Our graph needed to be overflow hidden? Anyway. That seems to be handling that. View. Search results. Column. I guess I have to set a height for that to work. No. Search box, show result. The top level thing is a column. Maybe I need to have a container around that. Actually, does that pipe make sense? Because you turn this into an element, and then we turn it into another element. Nope, it's still expanding the page. So maybe you need to have the height. No. Huh. The content is larger than the element. Width equals fill. Available space evenly. A minimum boundary. All right, what is this doing here? Yeah, those are individual entries. And I've got a lot of containers here. Okay, you're a height auto. You have nothing. That's an individual element. Do I need height and width? For it to count as a proper box? What the? What are you? Oh, I did put the explain on, and that was like a ton of little elements. Maybe it didn't really show up until now. Maybe it's only if it's like a fully box modeled? Search box show results. So really, maybe, no, because Phil was working for the graph. I'm not sure height auto does quite the same thing as height 100%. Account navigation hedging aside. Border. Huh. It's always these little things that you're going along, you're just going to do some general UI design, and it's like you can't limit a box. It's like, I think I know how to do this in... So none of those should be directly affecting us. How? All right. Does this do anything? That is so weird. No, it doesn't do squat. And we've still got a scroll bar. I wonder which element has the scroll bar. How would you know that? Oh, body is still high 100%, huh? Inline? Maybe that's something LMUI is injecting? Oh yeah, explain. How to tell which element has a scroll bar. Do scroll height greater than... Oh, overflow hidden. Scroll height and client height. Okay, so that means body almost certainly has that. But body has height 100%. Shouldn't that limit it? Does that only work if... we're also with 100%? Wait. Okay, so that one's overridden. It's the same rule. So maybe the issue is that I'm not applying anything to... Yeah, okay. So that's the actual issue there. So maybe the issue is that some intermediate element is allowed to get too big. Okay. And then you got set to clip. So it's like, how much can we remove from this? Okay, that's still scrolling the entire container. So do you need that? Huh. Right, we lose the, I guess that's must be a background effect it's doing on purpose, maybe? That'd be a very funky little color, anyway. The problem is we're doing scroll bars without adding room for scroll bars, which is always one of the awkward bits about them. Maybe, geez, we have to do width fill all the way up to. Now, at least with base HTML, you only had to go, well, you had to go up to your anchor. So this is telling me something about what kind of space it is, I presume. I don't know what it's trying to tell me exactly. Maybe it's one of these. No. Well, anyway, so actually, does the lower level ones matter? Oh, that might matter. Yeah, you've got to have it all the way up. Oh. Hmm. Well, Oh, this column didn't need to have it. So why did that column need to have it? Weird. Oh, this is one of the elements, probably. Can't quite tell which one. Nothing really seems to be highlighting. All right, so this still needs a lot of cleanup. But at least it's scrolling. What was that method? Wait, why can I not find this? And why am I getting borders if it's not on? So this has to be a border thing, right? Border none. HTML. So I do want to be able to turn that stuff off at some point. So I thought that's what explain did. Element not explain. Commands in order to work. You don't do anything with it. Oh. Oh, it's an attribute. Okay. Oh no, that's different. So where are these borders coming from? Oh. It was just actually something bugged out in the debugger. Okay, sure. I mean, they were kind of oh. Helpful while they lasted. Ooh. No, 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 no. Why is this so laggy? It's not that big of a list, right? Although, Hmm. So where's the event handlers? No, it's not that. Not that. Hmm. Alright, so that was something that wigged out in the debugger. Alright, so it's scrollable. It could perhaps be better, but it... Oh, is it just the inspector panel that's lagging it out? Trying to catch up on everything. Oh, you know what? These might be on... Well, I do have server numbers in here. I need a server list to make that more presentable. Life.name. Oh, did I have to put it in an L for spacing? Oh, that's right. We Elmified it. Disabled by debugger, what? Well... Oh, maybe just because the debugger is open. Oops, not that back button. Maybe we get there someday. Most of these are main server? Okay, so some of these aren't. Probably getting down to the older ones. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. That might be useful. We'll have to see. Alright, so I don't know if that is... Okay, so these are almost like back-end features. Scrolling a name list. Oh, I still got a clip on something. Oh, no, that's the graph. All right, so we may have to change application type here. Init. Oh, we were giving it hash because how we used to be doing things. Actually, hash is probably fine. You. There's probably a browser thing. Browser.document. Element. Document. Gives you title and body. Application. Well, it's going to give us the URL anyway. You just have to deal with all the URL junk. And then all the URL stuff. All right. So if we want to have it, well, I mean, we can already react to a URL, but it would be nice if doing that actually updated this. And perhaps we could use this back button. Now, I do have some other examples of doing this. We can do some basic. Init signature changes. View is still a document. Update, subscriptions, and then we have to deal with this stuff. And that might be where examples are useful. Which one? Are you an application? No, you just grab some parameters. Hosting clips. Yeah, okay. So we've got navigate, current URL. Don't know how much I did with this. So that'll kind of go along with this stuff. So you are that. I might have to bring in some more browser stuff. Oh, yeah, the navigation key. Model location, navigation.push URL. Oh, so that was a navigation request. Yeah, and if it's external, just go there. So our model is going to have a location and a navigation key. Init is going to get a bunch of more stuff. So I was looking at that. I probably won't need it once we can get stuff out of URL. Extract search argument. The format might change a little bit out of that. Oh, actually. Nope, I did have a full URL here. But it was called location there. And we don't think we need this anymore. All right, location equals location. And was it navigation key? Index. Is that how, or did you? Yep, just init. Have I done any real location equals location, push URL? Not really doing a lot with this. Don't know if any other applications did more in the way of responding to things. Did I ever? Okay, so there is, we get a user, we push URL with some path stuff to load our arguments up. But that's just for page reload right now. All right. We're bound to have a very angry compiler right now. Okay, so that's sufficient just to run. Or not. Oh, that's right. I told it was expecting a string in init, and it no longer is expecting a string in init. We don't consider this navigation, so that's what that's going to do. Actually, I never really implemented navigation in the other ones. I don't know if I've ever implemented true navigation. Usually I'm just trying to catch parameters so I can like bookmark the page. Well, what we did do in this is navigation push URL. So when we go to a result, we want to record that as something we could pick up on a reload. And then we actually want to get that to support backward and forward. So when we change to display mode, actually we should probably checkpoint just that much. Since it was a bit of stuff. So when we go to display, and that's all of the information we'd want to put there. So right now it's a get. Or do we want to do that when we come back? Well, we won't necessarily have easy access to the information there. Navigation push URL. Model navigation key. And then we're going to need something like oh, should I record in the model where we're at? It'll actually be kind of very similar to this. Do it inline for now. URL dot oh, these are regular parameter arguments though. They actually don't make it easy to work with queries. This is actually URL, or with hashes. Yeah, you need custom to even do a hash, and then you have to deal with the query stuff. And since it returns this, you have to hack it up if you're doing that. So I guess since we're doing full application, we can do that. But it's not cross origin. It is Does this even work if we just opened an HTML file? So it is fetching index.html, so it sort of works. And then the question is, oh, no, it sort of doesn't work. Because this is actually in public. So I guess, well, okay, so part of that is we just need to do relative. No, but I'm going to have to get the path when we load up. All right, I think we would like to take a break. I'll be back in a few minutes. Cannot draw any cards this turn. That becomes a bit more interesting with the 3-cost nightmares, doesn't it?
Okay, we're getting a lot of iron. That's good to see. We're finding a whole bunch in this outside area. Okay, we could get down here and use this. Anybody have any recommendations for the neural vacillator?
No, don't hit the T. Hey! Mom, I'm getting shot! In both the game and by you! Stop, Mom! Ow! Ow!
Just giving my shield a recharge.
Ow! Mom, am I gonna have to call CPS? Oh!
Is a thing that allows you to convert polluted water into regular water. So this big pool of pea water basically is what we use for the main water of our base when necessary. We do have 3 coal generators here as backups. We're only down to 9 tons of coal. I actually didn't have a natural gas geyser that I could find on this map. I explored the whole map like crazy, desperately looking for a natural gas geyser. Never found.
You're like, yeah. This is too much, Mom. I can't eat all this. Thank you. If you can see this, if you can see this everywhere. Yeah.
Oh my god, no. Did I just destroy all of my turrets? Oh. Oh.
I'm still lagging. I'm putting everything to low.
No, but it's because we need to. How much RAM do you have?
8.
Alright, just go. Just go to settings, or I mean your control delete. If you go to there, you go to the details. You need to go not to.
All right, so we're going to have to figure out where we're at so we can stay there. Oh, we've got, all right, so what have we done in other applications? We've got create URL or create path. URL.relative to nothing. So this must only work in production here. All right, have I done this better anywhere else? Did you have a create path? No. Location? Extract hash argument. Yeah. Okay, so you don't really do it. You want to do a little OAuth stuff. But didn't extract hash argument. You're pretty much the same. I mostly kind of tried to work around this. It almost felt like I had more applications than that. Okay. Current URL, location, init. Navigate. URL toString, interesting. WebSocket. Different kind of URL. Create query string, create path, URL.custom, URL.relative. Token, access token. Oh, so that's blank with that. No, you don't really do it. Extract search argument. Extract hash argument. Create query string. URL.custom. A custom just allows you to have a hash, right? Yeah, the maybe string. And we just built that there. So I don't think I've actually done full-on path navigation. Yeah, I think everything's just been internal. Okay. So do they have examples of path navigation? Web apps. Application starts, it's the URL, intercepted as a URL request. Okay, key URL, init, URL changed. Right, so that's their two events. Browser.internal, browser.external, model.push. The current URL is links that we intercept. Nav.load, nav.push URL. This URL parsing. Route parser. Route parser. Okay, so there is... Alright, there might be enough here. We need to poke around a bit. Okay, so source main. Change route to redirect. Maybe viewer? Flags, local storage, storage key. Never local storage. Oh, that's extra fancy stuff. Session is toSession. Maybe route. Route.root. Route.replace URL. Is route a file? Okay, so he's got fancy stuff. Okay, so that's full on there. Nav.replace URL. Route to string. Oh. Maybe I could just do something like that to get our, yeah, that would be our, okay, that would be our current path. Will it accept that if it has multiple pieces in it? Oh, so that is doing hash-based routing. Is that literally the path proceed with parsing as if it had been a normal path all along? Yeah, so we could play games with that. Change route to maybe route. So this is a parsed route.from URL. Yeah, so maybe display should contain all that data, and then we can consider that kind of our route. Change URL, route.from URL. Okay, that must be left over from something. Okay, so we got changed URL, we got clicked link, one of those href attributes. Path routing instead of fragment-based routing. Case URL.fragment inside would be unnecessary. External is just navload, nav.push URL. URL.toString URL. So right, so this must be triggering. So this is a special thing he's doing there. This is pretty much what we're doing. So everything routing-wise is from parsing it here, and then doing stuff based on that. So really, when we went to that, we would change the route and then let the changed URL event pull the fields back out and update the model appropriately. Or I should just fire the event at this point. So select. So this will be kind of almost silly, but so this is actually going to be just navigation. And really, I could just turn those into links, since all we're going to do is update the URL. So how do the links work? Link, URL label. So I need a way to make a URL out of that. It's URL. Pilot's probably going to be very mad for a while. Q, HTTP get. You know what? The things that do OAuth, which might include you. No, actually, probably not you. Stream credits. Or an offsite. I think has to do an OAuth loop. You go to there, but you have to send a redirect URI, which is just a parameter. URL for redirect is just take the current URL and replace the query and fragment. Simple enough. URL for redirect. And that is just base URL. We actually need this is this is going to be more like so we need our base URL, and then you need all the stuff. Now, could I perchance events.onClick? It's really just based on a life in this case. So we get that stuff out here. This is the So what we really need is the query parameter to query list of this stuff. Oh, so I could... Well, if it's fragment, I'd have to do some character replacement. So URL.toQuery. And since it's optional, let's adjust. This isn't OAuth, so we don't really care about clearing that out, but perhaps we should. All right, so where we were doing this, we just don't even have that. We don't have an event, but link. So this was, yes, actually the entire row. So this is link. List attribute message. URL is display URL with and this is the point where you just ship the entire model and it's just a big mess. Okay, yeah, there's display life. Which I actually could have typed these before I had to add the entire model. Wait, that's just a link? Or is that like the hover label? No, yeah, it returns an element. So I do need the select event, and I have to push the URL myself because we don't have generic anchor tags here. So actually this, well, I mean, But it's not going to be a life anymore. It's going to be the parameters. So you don't need URL stuff. I'm still thinking in regular HTML. Hmm. I mean, I guess there are still HTML attributes. Which we've already kind of, well, we've partially got this stuff here. What a mess. What do you think in the view? It's pretty much the same. All right, so get push URL. Is it a URL or a string? It's a string, so we do need that. So it's push URL, navigation key, this stuff. And that's how we get a URL. It's based on where we're at. But URL is model.location. Maybe we do want a function for that. We'll see. And then the request has to get sent when we find those parameters and pull them out of... Oh, actually, what the SPA example had was a function that we could call from here or from changed URL. So that function is handling a route, but they're both route.fromURL. And start with you, but route.fromURL. So this is just a location URL. Since this is an update function, that means it can return an event. So change route to, or is current URL, which right now does that by default. And we want to say that we need to do, we have no URL anything right now. So right now it's easier to put, it's the view. Create query string, extract hash argument, extract search argument. The parser stuff really only gives you good tools for path components. Parser.query. Location with no path. Parser.parse. Oh, well. Okay, so maybe there could be a case for a multi-step thing here. Parser.query. Custom query parser. Huh. I could just take the query parameter and pass it through. It'd be nice to do some format checking first. But this wants to map I almost want to part it out, throw it back to an event on update. Because then I can just do part. Here's your constructor. Then we can match it out on the other end. I could do a little anonymous function. I could have a function that took the arguments and made the query, then I could pass that to the query parser. Well, it would make the thing that parses a route return a command. And presumably there's a one of type structure. Maybe not at the query level. Yeah, so you would get a query parser. Query, which has this special symbol thing. Convert those into normal parsers. It's not converts to normal parser. That parser. Query.string. That also does the conversion. Although the types are all just parser. Query.string and slash query. But are not using any path segments. So this would require me to have some sort of method to receive those bits. So this would be map 3 on those things. URL to parser.query. So that's still full on name. URL to parser.query. Yeah, maybe just letting this out is easier. So this was extract hash, which you don't really need anymore. Wait. Oh, and then feeding that into a parser.parse. Exact search argument, just clearing out the path, wouldn't have to worry about it. So string URL. Server ID equal extract search argument server ID from location epoch. Man, I guess I don't have to do it through the routing. Oh, doing it through the routing system would let you do internal ordinary links, which Element doesn't really let you do. I still have to have this code for loading. Well, okay, so for browser history. Now, this doesn't check for all of them. And this is expecting to match. Parser, parser, parser. Yeah, they're all maybes. So it doesn't really require anything. So I'm going to have to check for every single one of them at the end anyway. Well, if it was all in one structure, you could check for just in structure. So we could do something like actually this is a maybe and a maybe and a maybe. And if it's just server ID, just epoch, and just oh, I was always getting these as strings. And just player ID. And in all other cases, we punt. And if we do get those, I guess data.lives. I probably need to start factoring this out. Fetch matching lives with a term I started the URL before. I don't have a strong reason to do that right now. So we'll have to do this sometime. So now we can specify pars would give me maybe. So I can't do that directly. Yep. No. No, you're already okay. Okay. So that should be fetch family tree. And we're still sorting out all of this stuff, but that is actually probably going to move back down to route. Actually, probably should be. Oh, but we're requesting it in a way that is a lineage. But it will handle a request and bump it up. So yeah, my stuff where I do what I'm actually generating here. Have I not abstracted this? This is but then you need all the things. So I'm going to do it that way. Oh, and you return a string. And these, yeah, and that is for certain other things can do that format. You return command, and you return a command. Display URL model.location. So push URL should end up doing most of the work. We need to get back to route. Okay. So you do that. That results in a change URL message. And really, if we do that, we also do. Oh, but you're going to have a back button. We have, well, that should really do that. And if it doesn't, we should be here. All right, and then on init, we also need to. So we're performing that. That's another command. How did they handle that? Maybe they just passed the initial model to it? And it, change route 2 takes a model. Okay, so that's a particular kind of route they've got. At the top level, which has no application state, apparently. Well, okay, so it's got session from viewer. So this must be their state. So we've got our initial model. We do need our initial command, though. Ew. Change route to is it location initial model, and that gives us a new model and possibly initial command. Then we can do model okay, what do we got? Always for the equal signs. Only accept tuples with 2 or 3 items. 3 items, really. Oh, too many commas. And player ID, actually that is This is actually a problem. Because from our perspective, it's just that. Fetch family tree, yes. Display URL, no. We'll do that for now. We'll see if we ever need both of them. Okay, so that compiles. Except now it tracks all this stuff. Oh, and back, arguably, should be changing URL as well. But it's also a button, so it's going to do an action, not a link. Is really just going to drop the query. Okay. No, change route to executes. We still have to do something like this. Oh, that was a maybe. Oh, actually, so that's a nothing. Okay. The fragment host. Query maybe string. Oh. But you finished up with a URL toString. Okay, so that was not maintaining good. Ooh, too many queries. What do we do here? Do we maybe have one left over from before? No. Oh, are you kidding me? Consistency! Okay. No, it's builder. ToQuery gives you a question mark. The query item in a URL does not have a question mark. Obviously. Drop left. Okay. String dot drop left 1. Okay, so we are not handling our change events properly. Oh, actually, where did I just didn't call it. Okay. That would explain that quite nicely. Change route to okay, so that loads. If we load that up in a new tab, we get this. What is... Okay, that's reasonable. Right, that doesn't count. So back should actually be possibly a back navigation. Of course, with that as there, I don't need the back button as much. Let's see, browser, navigation, push URL, replace URL, not add an item to history. So actually back. Now, the problem is we kind of want to know if the previous entry was in our application or not. So maybe back is the wrong word. Because if it's just browser back, well, you got a browser back button. Close doesn't feel right. Yeah, so I'm suffering for names for this right now. I've been ignoring title, but I could actually update that to say Eve Collins. Well, I have to go fetch the player information, but we can do that. Ooh, we tried to do a graph with no... But that gives us linkable pages. Spawn example. Yep. Is it in it? Kind of. Where are you? And another one. Just being lazy with my spaces today. Well, it works. We could possibly, since we're dropping the character anyway, we could possibly switch that to hash routing, which is actually as simple as that and, well, this. Yep. Yeah, I need to work on the search side of things. Okay, so query equals okay, so you will go back there, but you will also add to history. I don't feel any great need to be able to link to a search result. Wrong one. We're gonna get to you in a moment. Okay. Notes and killer info, which is kind of the other project, but okay. Now the way we did that. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're done with the Elm stuff. Or at least all the Elm stuff. Okay, so you're technically in the same project. Oops. Yeah, if you get two windows in the same thing, that's bad. Like right now, we handle that here. Oh, and highlights. In order to highlight a particular character, I would have to not do the lineage. Just pass the original player ID through. And I guess I can do both for the sake of speed. Or even do a list. All right. Okay. So the way we do this, so that is a thing that's done by history. Which is a single pass. Do another history. So we have a killer ID. We would family no, wrong project. All right, so lineage. Well, this. Requesting the lineage as a return value from a particular person. Well, this is where I might need to start thinking about different endpoints too. Because there's this stuff I might want to get into life search, but yeah, this is somewhat peculiar to how the graph works. So family, killers. So server epoch, player ID is okay, so that's technically a query. Could I do family.select where killer where not killer nil? Can you do that? The order probably doesn't matter as much here. Graph presenter. Oh, you're a graph presenter, so we could actually do. Hmm. Do I want you doing queries? Oh, we have to kind of... Oh, oops. Oops. Now, I don't think there were actually any killers there. Shoot, I found a test family earlier, but I don't remember who it was. No, anything on the lineage page right now would not be current. Unfortunately, I only know a big one. Oh, and I could do a single result. Okay, that does not appear to have gotten any killer information. What was my... lineage equal... Oh, put it in HTML. Which we're not really using right now. Undefined params. Oh. Okay, so that's why we need to do this back there right now. Aha. Oh, you were in turn killed by someone else. Not on the tree. You were in family. You were out of family. Yeah, that guy got quite a few there. Although, Oh, nope. I was thinking he almost only killed males, but got one. All right, so that is on you. Oh, I'm assuming that argument. I don't know if it'll ever be optional here. What would you be? And a wrap into an empty array, so that's fine. I don't know how to make an empty. I guess an empty data set would be the thing. I mean, the select fields wouldn't work then. Before, an empty hash worked fine. Well. And just make sure there's no obvious typos there. That's just colors. Include all right. UI notes, killer info. Yeah, so the search stinks right now. This is family trees. Oh no, yeah, because the search actually does go through lives, which goes through live search. So we do. Right, it was just query. So if we do, So the easy way to make it case insensitive is just to upcase it. Is there anything peculiar? To SQL here. Querying. That might be an extension. SQL extensions. Dataset extensions. No, this is very high level. Dataset filtering, Postgres. String search, so like, I like. I only work on 2 databases. Like can take more than 1 argument. So that will do simple prefixes. Full text search. Columns, terms. So this is database specific. Also, we could just look up. That would be lineage server. And there's index and there's server. So let's create table. We're really interested about name. Let's selecting the stuff. Format name. Request filter. By bad email or server name. Insert into. Maybe this isn't the front page? Name filter, prefix filter for speed. There's no way to make a light conditions fast. There's a wild card as the first character. But probably overkill in this case. Where lives.name. Where users.email. Name filter. Request filter. So this might be a MySQL thing. It's very similar to what I'm doing. But he does seem to be using the regex style stuff. Okay, well there's front page. That's if email is supported. Or I might actually, this, oh, right, I was on mapping, so this is actually the older version. Check ticket hash. Okay, so this is like some library. Well, it has to be in this directory. Because ls. Nope, it's just at the bottom. There's a lot of stuff in there apparently. In regex ls filter. Preg match. Now that could almost be, I could see that almost being a similar thing. Oh, maybe he's applying the filter after the results? Filter is a request variable. In request variable in default. Oh, in request variable. Oh no, that's a request filter, not. And where was front page? Name filter is used as a prefix filter. There's no way to make a. Okay, so maybe you just don't support trailing filters. So he's just doing a straight up like. So we'd be at least as good as that. We also are currently on Postgres, so we could do... Term should be a single string, nor search operators. This might be overly advanced. Terms argument. Any of the terms in any of the calls. So this is like a completely separate thing. So that's your base result. Result dot full text search. This actually is sort of the easiest interface. Okay, that definitely takes longer. Now, oh man, I was only doing eaves before. We need to work on our formatting. Oh, is this still prefix only? Oh, there we go. Or is it just that we're returning a lot more results? No, that feels a lot slower. Oh, wait. And syntax error. Okay, so we have to do some stuff. To convert this. And possibly do some sort of index on it. Text into lexemes. What is a document? Normally a textual field as document from messages. Basic text matching. Select TS vector. True. So TS vector, TS query. It is saying TS query is, so we would split on words and put ands in them? Actually, I think split defaults to space, doesn't it? Did that actually send? I think, it. Well, okay, 12 seconds to send the query. Yeah, that's not performant right now. And twice that to return it? Oh, wait, we've got a... oh. It's doubling because I selected count. But the count is supposed to represent the total number of results, but that's probably affecting all of my searches. I might have to rethink that count thing. But yeah, 12 seconds is not reasonable, which is probably kind of the same conclusion Jason came to. Are there any tricks here? Because I swear I'd used this before and it had been kind of okay. Well, okay, so for testing purposes, this is currently coming through point presenter. Just drop that, please. Where birth time not null, TS vector cast simple. Coalesce name, coalesce account hash. Oh, I guess that takes care of nils. Rechtfig, event colon. Text input. Text search parsers, tables and indexes. Without an index. A GIN index. Oh, I didn't check partial words. Oh, that's exact. That's not even necessarily what we want. Maybe that's down in the details of stuff. Title or body. Create a separate TS vector column to hold the output of 2TS vector. Create a trigger, yeah. Controlling text search. Parsing documents, parsing queries. That begins with the given string. Wait, what's the weights? I don't get the weights. There's star A star B. Okay, so the order is independent. To restrict it to match only lexeme of those weights. Oh, this is set weight. Okay. Different parts of a document. All right. Also, other thing I haven't actually tried yet. Okay. Now, this is where we want to do the highlighting. And where like family counts and things would be useful. So we were saying we're not doing partial search. We know how to do it, but it's already... So what is the similar thing to what Jason did? Where... result dot where okay, we're kind of done with this stuff for now. Where I like. Name. Prefix search. Now that does sound like it could benefit from, he was thinking about benefiting from index, which might help considerably. Okay, so basic search is about as fast as before. Prefix search. Yep, there's actually a couple others. All right, so we want to say that. Where a name like or name like. Okay, so that's not the direction we want. We want an or. Where.or. Now, if we add more stuff. Okay, so or is just like a Hold on, I like count hash. We should probably only do exact match on that. As cute as it is to be able to put in a part of it. And that's at least somewhat reasonable. All right, so that is something we could return to. I should probably have a. Well, I'd need. Can it? Well, this actually goes back before. I've actually got enough to get my entire history in here. Goes back before names. Oh, did I? I did have an Evror once. We don't know if it was real. Well, I could probably find out. Because I think that might be Jason's color scheme. Anyway. So that's how we do a full text search. It was not performant. So I see anything I can go back is. All right, so this was in fact a rather slow query. All right, so 4 seconds for that one. 4 seconds for the count. Yeah, so I'm cutting my query times in half. Is there a trick? SQL to return the query total number of results when there is a limit. Limit keyword is applied after it, so counts the results in the right answer. T dot star. Okay, so it's a subquery. Calc found rows. Prelimit records. So that's a numerous joins and subqueries. I mean, that'll work in a lot of situations. Calc found rows sounds awkward. Just because of the interface we've got. You have to execute them together. All columns with 5 rows of So I have to take this as a subquery. Query.select fields plus select count. It just has to be the query. Well, I don't actually need this. It's just the kind of thing you typically include in an API. Did I need any other information here? Oh, you know what? I left my server number. No, I didn't. But I kind of need. All right. We have prefix search. We have hash search. Loose error. Don't have highlights. Name, prefix, and search. That's just the note. So I need to change the way I'm doing this a little bit. So we've been putting lineage, lineage, lineage. But really we want to go back to player ID. Display URL. Fetch family tree, we pass that down. Display URL. That shouldn't directly break anything. Okay, because we can find the lineage from any player. Oh, but this is not a sub character name. That'll well, it'll find somebody. Yes, that can find a character. Now we could actually get this just on the server side. So I need to have a parameter because you've got the objects. Yeah, technically nothing about this. The structure of this assumes a single server epoch. This technically does not, but we don't have independent keys just yet. Highlight. Wrap. Okay, so do we need to do anything else with those? No. Oh, that does turn you into a hash, though. All right, so, and we are indexing this by player ID 2s, because it expects it to be a string. If results player ID dot 2s and just for completeness, wait. What? Not you. Oh, so it actually doesn't like my... I probably overdid lineage somewhere. And it's being completely unhelpful. Browser.url request. Is not what I expect. Is a record of type. So it looks like view is... Oh, I wasn't even pulling out the player ID before. In fact, I don't actually need the lineage now. That's going to affect the view. Nope, nope, because it was asking for that. Okay. This doesn't well, yeah, it kind of does. Error? Oh, did I in fact break something? Oh, these are eaves, but they'll still get highlighted. Okay. Wait. I messed something up here. It highlights it, but it messes up the object. How it do that? Oh, have I just been missing this the whole time? No. Oh, no, this is a history, so we have to be very careful about how we ask this question. I'm still very surprised that it actually messed it up. I really shouldn't have done that. Well, I mean, it should have... It would have added other things to it. But it shouldn't have replaced them. CAS key. Okay, that in and of itself does not break anything. Now it's safe, should be safe to look it up. Okay, that was very bizarre. Hello, police. How's it going? Yay. Now, could I... That's player IDs, though. So it's cool that that's the person we clicked on. could we? Or maybe I should do a separate thing for highlighting players. I would have to go through the results. I would have to, for each of these, make a list of those. Or really, accounts wants to be a set. And results, like you expect it in hash. And then we kind of do a very similar thing. But this is going to be, oh, this isn't going to be a has key though. We actually have to iterate them all. Results, life, I might have to load set. Oh. And in fact, that was a very busy player. That we picked on by random. Oh, they lost their name at some point. Love Dawkins. All right, so if I go back, that was the Martel family I was thinking of. Yeah, so now it will, well, if I find one of mine, it'll highlight everybody I was in there. So Hercules Martel and Greg Martel. Okay, yeah, a little bit apart. There's possibly that tree family, which I had a much smaller part in. Oh, geez. No, they're all the same tree, so browsing from one node to another wouldn't really make any sense. If I switch it over to a JavaScript renderer, I might be able to change focus. All right, so this thing is an absolute mess right now. Highlight player in results. And our other one. Okay, we got highlights. And we want to formatting pretty much. Send original player ID for highlighting. All right, so this spacing did not work how I wanted. There's a table thing. Oh, we need to actually be in here. Data table. Is it really data? Yes, it's tabular. But it's based on columns. And I want to do stuff based on the click event on a row. Oh, well, if I did make it just the name, I could use the regular old link. View for each column also receive the row index. Yeah, so either I set my field widths or we just use a table. It's at least tabular. But I can't display a life in one go then. That's kind of why I didn't like that. All right, so show lives is a table. Which might be adopting some of these things. That has data and columns. Which I guess we're expected to do inline. Well, we got a header now. Element.text. That's required, you say? Well, we'll start off with the example. I guess these things were getting pretty long anyway. Now you were going into element L because of the spacing issue. So we do get to skip that. And let us do just that for proof of concept. Okay, so I haven't lost my eye on click yet. Okay. Fortunately, I still have this. So it was age. Element got text. Shouldn't need that. Born. This is, well, I mean, I guess. Did you? No, okay, I undid the model all the way down thing. Date.zone to element text. Now you're another int. Oh, I do have generation. Just something. For context. And I still need that on, I need to do something with the clicking on results. Yeah, so this might be where we wanted to apply some different, oh, we don't have any clicking right now. But you could be a link, but I'd have to generate the path here now. And I can't make the entire thing clickable. Because of the structure of the table. Labels text. Oh. So that's not pipeable. Well, you could make a function to make it pipeable. Is that going to have syntax problems? No. Oh, that's not signaled very well. Okay. And now this is where we do have to pass the model all the way down. Okay, so you might be kind of going as a helper here. Display URL model.location life.server ID life.epoch life.player ID. That means you do not need zone, you need model, and zone is model.zone. So, this is only one step. You okay, compiled. All right, and then that could even be new tabbed and work. So we don't need this anymore. Oh, that was kind of pre-changing mode. So you don't technically use tier. Oh, view. And then we just, okay, so fill. Is there a shrink? Okay. Huh, so it even applies to the header. So this is an element. So I could put something with no table. Header is an element. Label is it's an element text, but that means it's an element. The table okay, so that does apply to columns at least. It applies to both. Responsiveness. So length is a pix, a shrink, or a fill, split available evenly. Which element should have which portion? Oh, fill equals fill portion 1. I don't know what I want it stretched all the way across. But all the fill is going to be going all the way across. Which leaves us with absolute widths. I really need to look into some of the scale stuff here. Okay, that looks way too small. Yeah, so you should probably be more like 200. Yeah, about double across. Oh, and in fields, we'll just overflow. Can I submit a blank? Q equals blank. Well, I guess doesn't get a result. Or is it still processing the result? Okay, so maybe need a smaller limit on this. There's the debugger. Yeah, so that was pretty bad. And we've already lost that. This doesn't tell me. So that was set up for my points to get by workbook data. That was pure JavaScript, which probably has a more efficient JSON parser. If I start limiting things, I might want. Fetch family tree. Might want ways to paginate, which I don't have yet. So looking back through all my lines was probably a bit much. Int. So we do an unbounded query. Oh, I thought I implemented limit. Oh, or maybe I have to have changed it? Oh, you know what else I didn't do? Oh, okay. Took a little bit longer. Okay, so that was a little bit better. Oh, right. The reason I wanted random stuff. Okay, so name could maybe be a little bit longer to allow for some of the crazy ones. Now I really need to do something that I'd rather have something that could adjust the browser window. I would like to have some headroom there. The other thing we need is I need a custom endpoint for this that returns. Well, the fields it needs doesn't need some of the stuff, and the number of people in the lineage, because that can help kind of filter out successful and unsuccessful stuff. Okay, that was all front end. We format as table, limit results. Actually, well, the page needs touch-up and formatting in general, actually. So we've got some formatting. This is more styling. We need some credit links. We need dedicated endpoints for applications. I don't know that I want to do a super generic thing. Because now I'm sending a bunch of extra stuff. Well, admittedly, things like name and age might be interesting, but most of the time we're just drawing points, so it's also a lot of extra data. Okay, so I think that will be it for today. Well, for this morning. I want to eat lunch and come back to actually play One Life this afternoon. So thanks for watching. I need to get my list of people up because lots of people were kind enough to host me. All right, so I think we did that one yesterday. And this is about when I tend to be on. Let's see. Looks like Makings of a Hero was doing some art stuff. She's working on a RTS MOBA, and just kind of going through everything on stream. So if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.